Hello there. A couple of weeks ago, I was given an opportunity to speak at a local tech conference called TechChill Baltics, and it's mostly startup oriented. And today I wanted to share with you the presentation. So that's approximately how it looked like. Hello, my name is Edward Ruzga, and I am staff engineer from Prezi, a presentation software company. There, currently, I'm helping with building their AI offerings. It's pretty fun. You give us texts and we pick template for you. We generate and propose color schemes to you. We find background pictures. We rearrange and redo the template so that it's structured for the text you gave us and filled with text you gave us, which gives you a pretty nice draft in a couple of minutes, getting you started very quickly in doing the presentation. It's pretty fun, give it a try. But this is not what this presentation is about. Basically, I didn't know what kind of people will be at this conference, and honestly, I know that there will be different types of people with different levels of AI literacy. So I wanted to pick some kind of use cases that anyone would find useful and also would not need any kind of extensive knowledge. So I've picked 4 use cases, 2 for fun and 2 for profit. Let's begin. So first use case I wanted to speak about was prompt engineering. Now, I know that a lot of people today are trying to learn it, trying to get better at it. There are courses, like bosses want to improve and upskill their workers, and so on and so on. And time and money is spent there. But I want to save some time for you today, because there are things like meta prompts, and actually bots using meta prompts can prompt themselves. And one of the first examples of this is Professor Synapse. By the way, all the links to things I will be sharing are in the description. Anyways, the oldest one is Professor Synapse. Now today, it doesn't work this way. It doesn't create a prompt for you. But its creator, Joseph Rosenbaum, actually was sharing the prompts for it on GitHub all this time. So there's a version history of the prompt. So I went and found a version that works in a way that will demonstrate what I want to show you. And I made a copy with this old prompt, just for sake of demonstrating how this kind of bots that prompt themselves work. So the way it works is that you come to this kind of bot and you say, hey, I want to make a presentation. And it will say, okay, wonderful, I have a couple of questions. You answer its questions, and then it says, hey, okay, now I understand. I think you need this kind of expert using this kind of methodologies and so on and so on. Here is a prompt for this kind of expert. And from this point on, I'm adopting this prompt, if you don't mind, and continuing this conversation as this kind of expert helping you with your problem. And here you have the prompt. Now, if you like the conversation, what's interesting is that you can take this prompt and use again in new conversations. Or you can put it into your own chatbot, or you can actually put it into chatbots from competitors. For example, here I actually put the same bot in Gemini, the same prompt. So it also starts to act as expert in presentations and helping you. Or here I actually gave this prompt to Claude, Anthropic Claude. Again, you're an expert in presentation design. So very useful. You use these kinds of bots, you get the prompt, you play around with it, you like the result or not. You can iterate with it more on the prompt, telling you what you don't like about it. And when you like it, you can save and reuse it in multiple ways and in many products. So that's meta prompting and prompts that work, that create prompt for you. And I actually created over the last half a year a bunch of others where I was playing with this kind of ideas. I have one I called Can I Trust This? You give it some kind of information you want to fact check. It will try to understand what it is, what kind of experts could help you fact check it. We'll write out a fact checking plan. And then we'll try actually use Bing internet search to try and fact check whatever it can. And it will ask you about information it cannot get access to try and help you to understand whether it is fake or not. And I have a bunch of others. like expert creator, another one. So these two, yeah, you give them again your problem, and it will try to propose experts, methodologies, techniques. It's kind of like works like, okay, here is the problem. What kind of experts usually use with this? What kind of methodologies and techniques they use? Okay, now use those and write out me a plan of how to solve my problem. Okay, now work through the plan with me to, well, solve my problem. Now, that's not always useful, but it's one way to get quite, well, to learn how to do things as experts do them. And actually, recently, last month, Claude released the prompt library. I actually just this week decided to take a look what's there, and I actually made the custom GPT, again, link in description, that so I made a custom GPT that allows you to, you give it the problem and it will try to pick one of the prompts in Claude prompt library to use to solve your problem. Now, I don't think it's actually better than the other ones. Some of it is very basic and beginner level. So I think meta prompts are better than prompt library in this sense. But yeah, anyways, that's it about prompt. That's the first topic. I hope I saved you some time, which is also money, and I maybe save you some money, and well, money is profit. So that's profit. That's the first topic. But now let's actually switch to a little bit of fun. So, do you have kids? I have two boys. A pretty fun thing we were doing for half a year was asking ChatGPT to draw pictures that we can then print and they can color. So you can ask ChatGPT with DALL-E 3 to draw a picture that is black and white, some kind of outline, draw me anything. I will then print it and I will color it. It will draw you pictures, you can print them and color them. I have boys. One of the things they're into these days are monster tracks. So yeah, a lot of printed monster tracks, like a bunch of them. Pretty fun. And you can actually probably even try to print freaking books and sell some kind of fair. But it doesn't stop on monster tracks. You can actually print masks, cut them out, like cut out masks. You can prompt it to like, hey, I want a black and white printable mask that can be cut out and used as a mask. I actually have one with me here physically. Like here is like my youngest son, not very good at coding yet, but here is a boar mask that we printed. He colored it, and well, he's learning, and yeah, and he took it to an event in a kindergarten. We are having fun with this, but it's not only even for kids. You can actually print masks for adult parties. Like I did some stuff for a New Year party around that. Pretty fun. And you can find ways to get some profit on it as well, right? Okay. For making pictures though, I actually love using this one. It's also kind of like a meta prompt style custom GPT, where you give it any kind of text, any kind of picture you want, and it actually starts to brainstorm. Actually, wait a second. I want to show you. Yep. Okay. Here it is actually. Glibatree art design. So I said that, hey, I want a black and white coloring picture of a monster truck cars mixed with fairy tale characters to print and color with kids. And what it does is that it says, okay, since you want that and that, I have this kind of ideas. I will generate for you Midjourney prompts, and I will try also to draw them with DALL-E 3. And so I tried to draw something with Cinderella, which failed due to content policy. I said, okay, I will adjust. I said, okay, continue, and it drew, okay, a pumpkin-styled monster truck or a dragon-styled one. Other one. Actually have no idea what that is. Truck design like Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, maybe I would prompt a little bit more here. I have no idea that this is a like Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, and the last thing, it also proposes more ideas with numbers, and you can say, hey, like, okay, there is a knight, design elements from Tale of Aladdin, 3 little pigs, and broomstick. Okay, I want couple of, okay, I want 3 for 3 little pigs design. Anyway, so let's return to the presentation and check it later. So anyways, this is Glibatree, our designer. Again, link in description. It's pretty fun, and it's also kind of a meta prompt type of thing. But that's not all. With pictures and kids, you can have a little bit more fun as well with this. It's called Creature Fusion Plus, and it's also kind of a meta prompt type of thing. You give it two creatures, and what it does is that it writes out, like some kind of zoologist or something, it writes out a whole encyclopedia article about its anatomy. What are its limbs, eyes, like skin, fur, or whatnot, describes everything, mixing two creatures together. And then it uses the description to draw it. So you can ask something like, give me an elephant mouse, and you will get an elephant mouse. But also, it turned out that you can ask it to mix not with, like you can take an animal and something that is not an animal, and it will mix two things together, creating an animal with that. For example, here is an oyster mixed with a black hole. Or, again, I have two boys, they're also into tanks. Here is a red tank. Kind of fun. I actually wanted to show you this as well. Oh, actually, it finished. So, yeah, one little pig, second wooden one, and it's still working on a brick one. Okay. While it works on a brick one, I can show you how Creature Fusion works. Again, I said that, hey, I want a stealth plane eagle. And it says, okay, for a stealth plane eagle, we'll create a hyper-realistic image of a creature that fuses the sleek aerodynamic elements of stealth aircraft with a majestic feature of an eagle. Plan. What is his head, sharp and angular, and so on. What's with eyes, beak, neck, body, wing, blah, blah, blah. It writes all the details of how this kind of creature would be. Diet. Carnivorous, primarily small mammals and birds captured with precision. And then when it finishes that, it starts to draw. And here we have a stealth eagle. My kids love it. Like you won't believe how many tank animals I've drew with this. I didn't draw AI, did, but yeah. And the giggles that kids get out of it, they're precious. No, actually, yeah. Three Little Pigs monster track. Black and white and can be colored. Probably too complex. I would ask actually to simplify it. Anyways, this is fun. Let's get back to profit. So here I actually asked a question from audience. Do you have an assistant that can watch an hour-long video, create executive summary and table of contents for it, answer your questions, and create questions for the author of the video in a way that are polite and would compel the author to answer? And it would do it all in just 5 minutes. Do you have this kind of assistant? Do you know a human being that can do that? I don't. But today you can do that, and that's actually what I ended up doing recently. There was a video, GPT for vision and web scraping. Now I know GPT for vision, I know web scraping, I can imagine how would you combine them, what would be pros and cons and benefits. But I do have curiosity and I'm interested, but it's freaking 60 minutes long. And I didn't have, it was a weekend, I needed to run and to do some chores. I didn't have 60 minutes. So what you can do today though is to use a bunch of custom GPTs. You just give a YouTube link to them, they will extract a transcript from the video and summarize it. But I kind of not really like how most of them work, and I also summarize articles, not only videos like that. So I actually created my own. I called it 2-Click Digest. So the way it works is that you give it a transcript or an article, you get executive summary, key points, table of content with direct quotes. Now, why direct quotes? Because then you can actually find those direct quotes in original material, find where it is, whether it's hallucination or not. Could be automated. I still need to put some work into it. But anyways, you get that, very helpful, allows you in a couple of minutes to consume our long videos. So what I did was I gave the transcript of that hour-long video to it, checked through it, didn't see answers to questions I had. I asked it, hey, did he mention things A and B and so on? And it said to me, nope, he didn't. Then I said, okay, create for me a comment to the author complimenting him on the video, but also asking the questions that I have. It did that. I've posted the comment on YouTube, and I got an answer to my questions from the author a couple hours later. And it all took only 5 minutes from me for an hour-long video. I wouldn't say this was possible before. This is like having a personal assistant. And not only just some kind of personal assistant that can do some things that humans probably can't and will never be able to. So, again, saved time. Time is money. Money is profit. You could, though, say that, wait a second, it's only a transcript. But it is also changing this year. Because, for example, Google released Gemini 1.5 Pro, which allows to take in its multi-modal. You can give it texts, pictures, videos, and audio. And it's not that it's going to transcribe it. It's actually going to in full ingest it and see and hear everything there is. Not as perfect as we humans do, but in some ways better than us, in some ways worse than us. But still, you can give it a video, and that's what I tested it a couple of weeks with colleagues. We gave it a video of a presentation, and we asked questions like, hey, what kind of cars, how many are in the presentation? What are their models and the year? And it found all of the cars in the video, told us what was the model and the year, and only in one car, for one car, it was wrong about the year. It was correct about everything else. So unreliable, not perfect, and yet more useful than anything that we could do before. So that's one example. Another example, for another video, we asked, hey, at which timestamp eyes appear in the video? And what is the text that appears immediately after? And it gave us correct timestamp and correct text for this question in a video. So it can see, it can read, and it can hear. I even gave it a video and asked it, hey, can you make me a transcript for blind, and also for deaf people who do not hear? A transcript, full transcript of the video, where you write out what is happening, both visually and in what is heard. And it gave me back a transcript. I read through it, and all the text is correct. It also described how I look. It described where I point when. Everything was right except one thing. Timestamps were wrong. But there was something weird about that as well, because it seemed like chronologically they were right, and it felt like they are distributed correctly. It felt like they are just 10 times faster. Like a video is hour long, and but transcript says at 8 minutes, while all the text is correct. So it felt like maybe with prompting or some adjusting, you can actually get timestamps correctly too. I don't know. I didn't have time to play much sense, but what also is interesting about this is that it's 9 cents for a minute, which means it's something like a $14 for 2.5 hour long movie. And in tests that are independent, not made by Google, not hype, not marketing, that show that actually these models are getting to a level where you can hide, like there is a test called needle in a haystack. It means that you hide a secret phrase somewhere in the video, ask it to find it, and it finds it. No matter if it's in the beginning, in the middle, in the end, up to an hour, Gemini 1.5 seems to pass this kind of test. So I don't know about you, but profits in industry of video analysis are definitely changing this year, because while still imperfect, while still somewhat unreliable, these things allow us to do way more, way faster, way cheaper with video analysis. Not only visually, but combining visual and audio. Like when you hear a phrase jump, how many people jumped? And it can, well, I didn't did exactly that test, but we're getting to a situation where these things can do that. So that's yeah, that's profits. Okay, last topic for fun. Do you do journaling? Maybe you collect quotes. I don't do journaling. I do collect quotes, and I do like writing down some things. Maybe Zettelkasten, I don't know. There's also one product I really liked back in the day. It's called 1 second every day, where you could use picture or 1 second video for every day in a calendar. And by the end of the year, have a 6-minute video that shows how your year passed. Pretty fun. But today, we can do another thing now. We can actually use products like Suno and Audio to convert those kind of things into music. Convert daily stories or maybe quotes that are motivational, inspirational, maybe meditational, and you can make an audio playlist out of this, like musical journal or inspirational playlist about topics you care about. So this is something I'm experimenting with and I wanted to show you. So here is Michael Siebel from Y Combinator, a co-founder of Twitch. And he has a quote that I really love about startups and finding initial product market fit. It goes like this. When you're starting to do a startup, you need to find a problem and clients for whom the problem is so bad that their hair is on fire and they are willing to buy a brick from you to put it out. Because for the first 1 or 2 years of your startup, you will have resources only to build a brick. So without this kind of clients whose problem is so bad that they are willing to buy a bad solution for it, you will not succeed. Here, I asked Suno AI to turn that kind of quote into beatbox music. Let's try to listen.
In the startup world, where visions are lit, hustling hard, looking for a perfect fit. Y Combinator teaches with wisdom so slick. Focus on customers whose needs are so thick. Their hair's on fire, desperation's their shout. Ready to use a brick to put that blaze out. Because the first thing you build, it might just be a brick, but if they buy that, you've hit the market tip. Startup life, it's a wild ride. With YC's map, we navigate the tide. Hair's on fire, solutions in sight. Finding product market fit, we fight the good fight.
Kind of like this. So that's it, but I have one more thing to show you. That you can actually combine many things I showed to you today and even make a music video out of it. Because you can give this kind of lyrics to something like Glibatree and brainstorm with it visual frames and scenes for a music video based on the lyrics. And then combine that and get something like this, like a Disney movie about startup hustles.
In the star.
It's actually the same song, but this time done kind of more in Disney song style.
Startup world, where visions are lit. Hustling hard, looking for a perfect fit. Y Combinator teaches with wisdom so slick. Focus on customers whose needs are so thick. Their hair's on fire, desperation's their shout. Ready to use a brick to put that blaze out. Because the first thing you build, it might just be a brick, but if they buy that, you've hit the market tip. Startup life, it's a wild ride. With YC's map, we navigate the tide. Hair's on fire, solutions in sight. Finding product market fit, we fight the good fight.
So that's it. That's the fourth use case for fun. could be also for profit in the sense that you can create some business or app out of specialized playlists for, I don't know, meditation, motivation, inspiration out of it, or for kids. But it's fun. And we are having some fun with kids on this as well. And that's where we gonna finish. I do have one question for you. What are your favorite everyday AI use cases that I didn't share? Do share them in comments. And if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. And see you next time. And thank you.